Alright, here for the last round. 2-1 currently, playing for some marbles. Not all the marbles, but some, you know. And hand is pretty reasonable. I kept, my opponent kept, and we're off. So, Wild Slash, either going to be great or bad. Given that we already have a Wild Slash, I'm tempted to just put this on the bottom, and I believe I'm going to, just because it could just end up being pretty poor depending on the matchup, although Slash is pretty good in most matchups, so maybe I do want to keep this. I don't know. Could just be like, maybe my Rabble Master dies, and then I don't really have a whole lot going on. So maybe just put this on the bottom, try and draw one of our bigger cards. And even if Slash ends up being good in the matchup, I feel like, you know, we have enough Slash type cards that it should be alright. So lateral waste for our opponents. Could be Abzan aggro, in which case Slash would be great, but what are you gonna do, you know? Alright, now we're basically in the same spot. Maybe I should have even played that Scryland, actually, because I don't know exactly what I want. But Strike is... it's 1 more damage. It's high impact enough that it might be good, but if our opponent is Abzan mid-range, it's not great. But I guess I could team up with a Slash to take down a Rhino or a Courser, so... yeah, sure. Okay, we'll bottom the Slash. We'll keep the Strike. We'll see what happens. If he goes Courser, we can use a Goblin to use that Strike. Okay, so he's got Seeker. So he's a weird Abzan deck. Yeah, if he goes Courser, then we could like Goblin token plus Strike to take it down maybe, and we can stroke a Rhino. So I don't know. Do we want to fetch? Do we want to shuffle the Slash back into our deck at the expense of a land? I think so. Just because I don't really want to draw another land. So any spell would be much appreciated. Even if it is a lowly shock. Yeah. We're going to get him for 1. And draw is still kind of mopey at this point. But it looks like he's playing a bunch of dudes. So that's kind of good for us. He doesn't have double black for Downfall or Bile Blight. If he just passes, I probably won't attack with the Rabble Master because of Abzan Charm, but he does play the Lion, and we're going to strike that guy down. So far so good. Things have worked out in our favor with our scries. I think we rationalized, you know, what was going to be good and what was going to be bad. But he's got another Lion. That's pretty good. But we're giving him the rabbling of a lifetime here. And I'm just going to trade off Rabbles here. Then we get to keep all our Goblins. He's at 10 life. And then bang. 2 birds. 2 birds. And he actually just concedes. So, not too surprising, I guess. You know, our board presence was pretty solid there. So, Lion Seeker. You see some of these Abzan aggro decks play like air instead of some of the death dealers, just to have a 2-drop that is more easily castable, which is understandable. I could also see Seeker of the Way, but it's more likely you have a forest than a plains, but, you know, Seeker is certainly pretty good. So, it's probably, you know, doing something along those lines. So I think Angers are going to end up being pretty good because of his low end, and Seeker is also pretty cool in that it lives through Drown in Sorrow. So I think we're just going to board into a fairly grindy deck here. I don't mind the Sarkans either. Those are pretty solid. So yeah, I think we want the Sieges. We do have a lot of cards that we have to cut, though. It just ends up being kind of weird because most of our cards are pretty good against him. Normally, you know, if we take this sort of stance with Sieges and Sarkans, we don't want the Slashes, for example, but Slash seems kind of reasonable against Seeker. But if he doesn't have Death Dealer, or has Death Dealer in small amounts, and maybe doesn't have Warden, then Slash is not going to be great. But we're also boarding in Anger, so I think we could probably just cut all the Slashes. Maybe we only want 2 strokes. Like, obviously, the Rhino is the scariest card, as is Wingmate Rock. Yeah, get that stroke back in there. Maybe we cut a stance? Is that right? Beating and offense is going to be tough. Maybe we're on the draw. We just do 1 siege. I don't know. I don't know about this configuration. I haven't seen a bunch of my opponent's deck. Could be possible that he's mostly green-white with a light splash of black, and I've seen some of those also. Could just have a lot of stances instead of like downfalls and whatnot. This hand. So, like I explained in the deck tech, we have 16 sources of each color. The problem is, Flooded Strand does not actually produce blue and white. It is blue or white. So, this hand we can go Plains into Seeker. So we have double white for Brimaz, but then we have a bunch of white dudes with our Stoke the Flames. I think this hand is really close. It's so bad though. So we go like Plains, and we have this half of our hand online. But what happens to the blue cards and the red cards? Our opponent snapped his off, and I don't think that, you know, this part of the deck is bad against him. Like, this part of the deck is actually quite good, but we still do need a third land, and we have 11 lands that ETB taps. So I don't know. I think this hand is too sketchy to keep. This hand is like kind of the same problem where we have 2 planes. Blah. All right. Time to think. I think, given the scenarios, this hand is just worse than our first hand. So, obviously, if we had the choice of mulling to the 6 or keeping our other 7, probably keep the other 7, but we don't have that option. We're here now, and we have to make a decision as to whether or not this 6-card hand is keepable. And I don't think so. How bad is it if I go to 5, though? I brought in a bunch of Sarkins. We have the triple-double, again, with our mana costs. I'm going to keep it. I don't think it's good. But if we rip off, like, a blue-red duel, we have a lot of Epiphanies, a lot of Monasteries. It could be good. Oh, dig through time. That's not what I wanted. It's so bad. All right, I think we're dead. I think that's what's actually happening here, is we're dead. Can obviously still draw some perfects. Lion is going to be good. Brimaz. All right, so we're getting close to our first hand. Maybe he just doesn't kill Brimaz and Brimaz kills him. We'll see. If he plays Ana, we might have a shot. We draw blue-red duel, stances Ana, and then play Brimaz next turn. He just has mono lions. Mono lion beatdown versus our valorous stances. So, not great. We're going to try and tag a lion here by stancing our Seeker. I don't anticipate that working out well. But whatever. I'm all about it. No other options. Gotta try and get a little something going here. Wow, it worked. It worked. Another lion. Jesus. Monastery, okay. Just run it back, I guess. And then he just starts dropping rhinos on us and we have no answer, but I'm not really... he just automatically played a land. Does that mean he has a downfall? So I take 6 down to 11. He plays a rhino. I go to 8. Kill it. Play Brimaz. What if he has a downfall, I'm in bad shape no matter what. So just kill my Brimaz and keep attacking me. So I think I'm better off doing this. Stancing, playing Brimaz, hoping he still doesn't have downfall so I can double block Rhino, etc., etc. At least this way we're at a higher life total if he doesn't have downfall. But now he's pausing. So yeah, I think the downfall is imminent. And now we could dig through time, which is cool, but we're just going to get the Cat King out there, hope to stabilize us. It's pretty clear he doesn't have an Abzan Charm at this point. Could certainly have downfall and some other stuff, but what does this mean? I have no idea what this means, but we have to block. Ah, Bioblite. Feel like he should have just done that on the Seeker and attack, but maybe he wanted to get the stance out of my hand. Maybe there are some rhinos in my future. I don't like that future. This is a very strange scenario to be in. I can dig for 2 mana, or I can play Lion, hit him, and trade, and then dig next turn. Or not Lion, Rider. I think I'm better off just digging now. I can find a strike. I can find an anger and a red source, although I'm already playing my land for the turn, so maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe I should just dig for 3 mana. We'll try digging for 2. Can find a Brimaz or a Lightning Strike. Does make our other dig worse, though. Jesus, that's a lot of red cards. Alright, strike. That's an easy one. And Sarkin, hope to get lucky. What do we think? I think it's Sarkin, hope to get lucky. I don't think we're getting anywhere by getting a temple. Yeah, I guess I gotta put these on the bottom. Maybe could have waited on the strike, bait him into monster-ing his lion, but he doesn't have to. Could have upkeeped it in the case of Valorous Stance, because then at least he'd have to use his mana, but now I'm getting Rhinoed, and that is just the GG. I'm out. Alright, so now we know. Now we know a little bit. Slash is not good. Sarkin reasonable. Anger certainly good. Definitely like all the strokes and all the stances, so I think I ended up with a pretty good configuration. And yeah, I guess I still just want 1 siege. I don't know. Maybe I want the other one. I would have to cut Sarkin, I think. That's probably the worst card, and I don't really want to do that. Rather have a Sarkin than a siege, I think. So maybe my deck is built incorrectly. Because I always have like that the second siege just like hovering on, do I want to bring it in or not? But it is completely fine to have a card that you want some of in a matchup but not a bunch. And then against things like blue-black control, for example, I would definitely find a way to get the second siege in my deck. So, I don't know. The second siege is there strictly for control decks. I think that's okay. And holy crap, we have a playable hand. It has a lot of pain lands, but still good. This is one of the reasons that people tend to cut pain lands from this deck, because you have things like Mantis Rider, you used to have Jeskai Charm. There's a lot of stuff that made you use all of your lands for colored mana, and I definitely hate these all pain land draws, but it just kind of is what it is. No matter what, I'm almost certainly Moto's freezing, because it does that sometimes. But okay, so he just plays nothing. Basically, he could Thoughtseize me. That'd be kind of ballsy. So fine, you're gonna play nothing. I'm gonna Rider you, and then you're gonna have to deal with this, and then I'll anger all your little guys. So take 3 to deal you 3. Fair is fair, right? Absent Charm, yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's gone. I'm over it. No lands. No non-pain lands. Kind of annoying. Anna? Alright. Guess I have to kill her. I could try and set it up so that I can anger and strike her, but it is very unlikely that that is going to happen. Again, somewhat, well, I guess now it's more likely, but I'd be at a really low life total. He starts rhinoing me, I'm in a lot of trouble, though. Dang it. Brimaz, this is just working out so horribly. Just want to make my land drops and play my spells. Is that so hard? Is it? I don't think it is, but Magic Online seems to have other ideas. What is this? What is happening? Cut. Oh, it would light up if it's cutting. I don't know what's happening. Oh, okay. I was wrong. That was lagging. That was probably it. Play this Mantis Rider, go to 6. He attacks me down to 2. Next turn I can play Wingmate Rock, sure. Still technically alive. Just want to cast my spells. Why is it so hard? Why couldn't he play all the little things like last game when I have this anger? Just have nothing. Oh, he had a moo cow. I died. 2 and 2. I don't know. Games were competitive. Just got the little light on the manas. Maybe I do want a 25th land. I don't know. There are certainly games that you guys saw where I got flooded and that stunk. And then there are these games like this where, just don't have enough manas. So, I don't know. A little give and take. And you gotta figure that stuff out. Figure out what the risk reward is. And all right. That's it.